an isolation center in the province of Formosa in northern Argentina. People here say they're being held here against their will. This man says nobody is taking care of them.
We've had children here for 22 days and no specialists or doctors have seen them. Please stop lying. People are going to find out the truth about what's happening in this province.
Reports indicate there are over 3,000 people in isolation in the province. Argentina was one of the first countries in Latin America to impose a quarantine to prevent the spread of COVID-19. But while most lockdowns around the country have been lifted, the lockdown in Formosa has remained in place, unbroken since March last year. Human rights groups are questioning why people are taken to these isolation centers and the treatment they receive once they're there. There are reports of people being picked up in the middle of the night in their homes and taken with their families. And that's why human rights organizations are asking provincial authorities to ease these restrictions immediately. Formosa's government says its radical measures are necessary to fight coronavirus. The government claims only 6 people have died of COVID-19 in the province and that their policy has been successful. But many in Formosa do not agree. On Thursday, a local legislator was detained when she went to an isolation center to demand people to be allowed to do the quarantine.
When you speak out, that's what you get.
She was released.
It's coming in America.
Formosa feels like we're second-class citizens because the rights that people normally have are not even respected here. We don't have freedom to move. We don't have personal freedom. People are kept here in isolation forever. The schools are controlled by the police. There are no volunteers with psychologists, doctors. That's not happening. Human rights are violated. The centers are guarded by the police. People are not allowed to go inside. Their belongings are checked by the police. It's like a detention center. Indigenous communities have also claimed they're being discriminated against. 4 members of the Wichi indigenous group were detained on Thursday for protesting against local authorities. Formosa is one of the poorest provinces in the country and has been ruled by the same man for 25 years. Gildo Isfran, whom many accuse of controlling the province like a personal fiefdom. Argentina is struggling to contain the spread of COVID-19. Over 40,000 people have died in the past year. And while many here justify extreme measures, others say authorities have gone too far.
Yep.
Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.
What's going on in Hong Kong? In Hong Kong, they've actually sealed off and quarantined a whole neighborhood.
They got gates up. Look at that.
No one can come in, no one can go out. Completely shut down the whole neighborhood. Alright? So this is a report that was going. This report came on the news yesterday. And this is what's happening in this neighborhood in Hong Kong.
Authorities have sealed off Hong Kong's densely packed district of Jordan after a surge in infections. Those living in around 150 buildings have been forbidden to leave their homes in a 48-hour mandatory lockdown. The sewage systems in several blocks have also been contaminated, with high concentrations of the virus found in water samples. This part of Kowloon is home to many elderly and poor residents.
You heard that?
In small and subdivided flats.
COVID in the water.
Accounts for half of the new transmissions recorded over the last week.
I actually advocate that we should have a complete lockdown for 10 days, 12 days or a fortnight, whatever.
This 2-day mandatory lockdown in Hong Kong is the first, but is not expected to be the last. With the Chinese New Year holiday just weeks away, the government is tightening restrictions to avoid another spike in cases, as families gather for the biggest annual celebration. Chinese New Year is the most important family holiday, but large celebrations have been impacted by surging cases on the mainland. Mandatory COVID tests are ongoing in Changchun City in the north of China. Residents in Hubei province surrounding Beijing, as well as those living in Jilin and Heilongjiang province, have been forced
What are they
to
spraying?
Temporary quarantine facilities are being
What are they spraying?
with the highest number of infections since March last year. Millions
What
of
are they
people in
spraying?
mainland China would normally travel across the country to see their families over this holiday break. For a second year in a row, Chinese New Year plans are under threat, with the government advising its citizens to stay home. Sarah Clark, Al Jazeera, Hong Kong.
Israel, look at this guy
So these are the demons in
coughing on
Israel
people.
that's doing lockdown.
Look at these heads. The imposters.
They locked off the whole neighborhood. Their whole neighborhood has been sealed off because of the C-19.
Oh, they sealing off their
They're gonna
neighborhood.
get a rebellion against this thing. They know they